Between the two of them,
The inside of Coates,
Parker gets too heavily involved.
and that's Whitehead and Coates.
What do Tuesday evenings mean to you? To me, they mean sitting in my little office here in South London. It's cold outside, probably raining. Can't actually see out the window at the moment. But I think to the rest of the world, it's VRRC official Scottish Legends Cars racing evening. And this evening, again, great to be joined by Becky Aparicio. Hello, Becky. And we are at Oulton Park virtually, my least favourite track in the country, but I think one that tugs at your heartstrings a bit because you were telling us last week it's where you did your ARDs. Is that right?
Yeah. So not too much experience around there, but yeah, it was good fun. Obviously, being let loose on track for kind of like the first real time ever. Not really being coached round the track. So yeah, definitely a soft spot for me. No, it's not everyone's favourite. Maybe not the easiest to overtake, but hopefully we'll have some exciting racing this evening.
Yeah, I hope so. It's not that I dislike Oulton, it's just my least favourite out of all of them. And to do your ARDs here, talk about throwing you off a cliff, because I can't think of a more challenging track to do your ARDs at. So I'll take my hat off to you, Becky. It's a good place to be able to do it. And just looking at this kind of drone shot that we've got, it is a really, really good track. I don't know, but there's always something that puts me off a visit here. But virtually, we don't have to worry about that too much. I don't have a 3-hour queue to get out of the track, which is the main thing. But anyway, looking forward to it. We're already into the second half of this rather short season. I hope that the powers that be can be persuaded to have a longer campaign next time. We were kind of a little bit stuffed with the run into Christmas, but it would be nice to have an 8-rounder or maybe get involved with some other tracks and do some other stuff. But Scottish Legends official E-Series it is, and Oulton Park, as you can see, 2nd of December. Second half of the season. Only 2 more rounds to go. Anglesey Coastal and Knockhill Reverse wrapping things up the week before Father Christmas pops down your chimney with all your kids' presents. So that is the campaign. You're all very well familiar, I think, with the fixtures by now. As we turn our attention to the Championship table, which closed up a little bit last week, Jack Smith is still on top, but only 9 points clear of Charlie Devlin, and doesn't have the luxury in this campaign, as we mentioned last week, of drop scores. Thomas Potter is 3rd in the standings. Daniel Heaps is next up. I was having a look to see whether Daniel is on the practice. I was a bit concerned that maybe he was late into the practice, but he has practiced and he's there. He is 4th and already a double race winner as well. Somebody who hasn't had a win but might well do so this evening, possibly. There's the curse of the commentator for you nice and early. Scott Bugner. Scott, sorry mate, he's in 5th. Oliver Gibson 6th from Alex Forster. Happy birthday to you. Alex Forster is 18 today. He's one of those youngsters that I think put an incorrect age on his Facebook page so that he could presumably start doing it when he was about 11. I don't know if that's the case, but Alex, many happy returns to you today. He's 7th in the stage. So Rich Hayden in 8th, Lee Pearce in 9th, and Kat Potter wrapping up our top 10. So moving on, 11th place is Andy Carroll. Christian Gillian, I think, is one of the names that was missing from practice when I tuned in earlier on. But it's a shame if we are missing Christian, but we've still got a good turnout this evening, it has to be said. Caden Cook 13th from Craig Curtis. Then it is Chris Blakey, Cian Haig 16th from Harry Irvin. and Paul Laramie 18th, Jack Dickerson 19th, and Aidan Ingram looking to try and continue to improve. I'm surprised Aidan's best score actually was Knockhill. Had 10 points at Knockhill, but hopefully he'll be on better, quicker form this evening. We look forward to seeing his progress. Callum Enstone 21st from Scott Hunter, and 3 drivers off the rear of the points, as it were. Scott Hunter. Oh no, I mentioned Scott already. Kenny Press, John Jones and Taylor Neal. I know for a fact Taylor's not even home yet from work, so he won't be racing. John Jones and Kenny Press. Looking forward to seeing them, but don't think it's going to be today. But that is the championship table. We do need to look back maybe specifically at what happened last time out when we were on the pretty much unloved Anglesey side. I love Anglesey. People think I've got the wrong impression of tracks because Oulton Park's down the list and Anglesey's up the top end, and nobody liked Anglesey, which was a real shame. Although I think the Legends cast will get to grips with the coastal circuit next week. Charlie Devlin was our round winner last week. 2 wins for Charlie Devlin in the Mystery Machine. Jack Smith ponted down to P2. Daniel Heaps third, an all-star podium. We driver of the round for the second time in this campaign, going to Charlie Devlin. Really couldn't have given it to anyone else, but he's going to have to work hard to make it 3 out of 3, or 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 rounds, isn't it? So they were our gongs for last week, and we are now looking forward to running on the full circuit here at Oulton Park in virtual Cheshire. It is a very technical circuit, as Becky said. One of my first away day circuits that I went to, and it's a proper old school circuit because it is very much built into the landscape, a little bit like Anglesey is or was last week as well. And lots of corners. I think from a Legends perspective, and certainly many other Formula that I've seen racing on here, has probably more potential to be a crash fest, which we don't really want. I'm hoping that I'm going to be proved wrong, but showing you how to do it when the track is empty, as ever, is our championship leader, Jack Smith. Let's have a look at Jack's hot lap. We're just having a little bit of a refresher, really. This is the Anglesey hot lap, as you can see, going into the left-hander for turn 1 and up in towards the hairpin. So, well, we'll apologise for the indulgence in the Anglesey circuit. And for those of you who didn't like Anglesey, it's rubbing it in a little bit more for you. But I can tell you that I don't know whether we can actually sort out the Oulton. I don't know whether Steve does have the Oulton one to hand. Possibly not. But Oulton Park, as opposed to a left-hander, starts off with a right-hander. I think Steve's going to try and sort that out for us and ping it up. Let's have a look. We are going to get it, I think. Here we go. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Very easy thing to do. And once again, it nearly caught me out because I must admit I haven't even done my prep and had a look at Jack's hot lap yet so far, but I do know the Oulton Park circuit fairly well, so it shouldn't be too much of an effort. Here we go, out of Dearly, across the line, down towards the right-hander at Old Hall. Usually blazing sunshine when I'm here at Oulton Park. So into turn 1, this is, again, you can see the nature of the undulations already here. Relatively tight circuit, we're heading down the avenue now, in towards Denton's, that quick flick to the right, the left-hander here at Cascades. Again, a good passing opportunity here. Jack getting a little bit crossed up as he comes out of Cascades along Lakeside. Seen a few rollovers there. I think the most rollovers I've seen in Clio Cup going back in the day. Sweeping left-hander now. This is Island Bend as they head round to the left. Jack getting crossed up again and into Shell Oil's corner. Very well banked. Again, doesn't really look it like that hairpin that we saw on Anglesey last week. If you stand at the bottom of Shell Oil's, it's around about 6 foot from to the highest point of the outside of the track. It's a real cool bit of banking. This is the Britain's chicane, so we go out of there and then uphill appropriately to the part of the track called Hilltop, and then downhill in towards the Hislop's chicane. As you would expect, we go right, we go left at the apex, again getting a little bit crossed up, come out, and you can see the Knickerbrook commentary box there, or the Knicker box as we used to call it, and then all the way uphill from Knickerbrook, Clay Hill, under the footbridge. Again, Oulton Park, one of the great tracks to be able to walk around a lot of the circuit and explore lots of parts of the circuit. Past Water Tower, double apex druids that we're going through now. Then flat on the hammer again, under the Paul Warwick Bridge. The late great Paul Warwick very, very sadly lost his life there. Much missed man. Into Lodge Corner, the final corner. You can stay at the lodge itself on the outside. It's like a B&B, an Airbnb, and you can stay there, and I hear it's highly recommended. Through Deer Leap, under the bridge, down across the line, and Jack Smith will set the benchmark time here at Oulton Park in the Scottish Legends. 1 minute 54.34 seconds for the championship leader. Becky, that was a mega lap, but it's hard work around here.
Yeah, it's always kind of twisting and turning. You've got a lot of bumps and not massive elevation changes, but there are there. And like you say, with the banking as well, there's probably multiple ways people can look at going around Will's corner. You can hug it quite tight, or you can try to take a bit more sweep and then use that banking to your advantage and get a bit more momentum off the corner. So I'll be interested to see which one our drivers might take, and especially if they're trying to go for an overtake, they might refer to the latter option and think maybe that's how they can get an overtake. It does seem like it might be more momentum on the straights and getting a better exit out of the corners for people to be able to get the overtakes done. And again, it's always changed with the grids, how it's lined up. There's always the unfortunate people towards the back that have to then face the challenge of going uphill, as well as obviously getting a good start. You've got to get the momentum uphill as well. So just an added challenge for the kind of people a little bit further back down the grid.
That's a really good point. You know, I hadn't even considered that. But yeah, they've got some work to do, haven't they? To not so much in a real-time Legends race, because you'd be doing a rolling start. As we mentioned a couple of times already, we're not able to facilitate those at the moment within this type of racing. But it could be a thing in the future, you never know. Cat Potter, though, on pole position with Lee Pearcey alongside, Rich Hayden and Alex Forster, the birthday boy, on the outside, Oliver Gibson and Scott Bugner on the third row off the grid, followed by Daniel Heaps and Thomas Potter. So it is a top 10 reverse, but also it means that we've got a very competitive top 10 here. So things should get quite tasty as we've got 25 seconds to go. Oulton Park, love it for a bit, Scottish Legends. This is where I had the idea for the esports championship when I was chatting to Andrew Donald as we were watching Flash Gordon Shedden in the touring cars take his podium in the last touring car race that took place here earlier on in the year. I remember that moment well. Excuse me, should have done the cough button on the mic, but we are ready to go with the lighting sequence underway. Potter and Pearcey on the front row of the grid, ready to lead them down into Old Hall for the first time. And away they go. It's Rich Hayden coming up to join Lee Pearcey. We've got Alex Forster on the outside run as well. Here's a nice looking camera, isn't it? What a great shot that is. And they go 3, 4, 5 wide as they go through Old Hall and down through the avenue for the first time, with Lee Pearcey out front at the moment from Cat Potter. Daniel Heaps has a moment. That's a shame for Daniel going off. As we look at Charlie Devlin in 7th place, Alex Forster is in 6th, but Lee Pearcey made a good start there, and Cat Potter's done well to take 2nd position, but not for long as the birthday boy goes off. That's a shame for Alex Forster. Charlie Devlin gets it a bit sideways. Generally pretty well behaved though, Becky.
Yeah, not too bad, especially with how tight the track seems to be. So for nearly everybody to get through, a few offs here and there, but nothing too major, no real crashes or anything, and Cat's just about hanging on. Lee's obviously shooting off into the distance, but the Cat's coming under from Ollie Gibson, as he seemed to get a very good start. And then we've got Scott Bugner and Charlie Devlin as well, and Charlie's been obviously a force to be reckoned with this championship, as he just had a bit of a knock into the back of Scott Bugner. I think obviously we mentioned earlier on in the series, we don't do any bump draft in this championship, and so don't do that too many times, otherwise you'll get a bit too much damage there, Charlie, and that's never what anybody wants.
No, I really respect for the Scottish Championship for not having the bump draft. You know, a lot of the nationals whinged and moaned about not having bump drafting when they went to Knockhill. To my mind, it greatly improved the racing, as we get some wide runners there, and it's Jack Smith who's going to make the most of that, going up the inside, already past Oliver Gibson. So things having a bit of a sort out. Lee Pearcey 2.4 seconds clear of Charlie Devlin. The key thing, and what's happened to, was that Rich Hayden dropping back? Got Lee Pearcey still showing on the top of the timing screen. What was, I think, Rich Hayden dropping back down the order. Lee Pearcey out front. Now the key thing we've got to watch championship-wise, because it's single-digit gap between Charlie Devlin and Jack Smith. So if Charlie keeps in front of Jack every race, he could very well, as another car disappears off into the distance, could very well take the championship right the way down to the wire, if not the championship lead. So I think Jack Smith is in an unusual position because he hasn't, I don't think has been run this close in a VRRC championship for quite some time.
Yeah, just going back to that car that we saw, I think it's the broadcast car. So nobody panic, nobody's stationary, because we've got another off. I'm not too sure who that was. I think it was Thomas Potter going off earlier as well, just trying to keep track of who's who. And that car we see on the start-finish straight is actually the broadcast car. So hopefully all the drivers obviously avoid that. It happened earlier on in the series, and everybody avoided it, which was great. And it was everybody getting round when a cat went a little bit wide, and everybody taking avoiding action. No major incidences, nobody kind of avoiding too much and causing harm to themselves, and yeah, not collecting cat on the way through. So some great driving at the moment. Lee's still streaming ahead. Jack's managed the overtake on Charlie, so these will battle all the way to the end with Ollie Gibson joining in as well. So we'll see if the two brothers decide let's team up and we'll manage to beat Charlie.
Yeah, we can hope so. There's Callum Enstone, who's in the top 10. So good stuff from Callum. Also, Cian Haig in 9th place. And a shout out to Aidan Ingram. Bear in mind that the top 10 were reversed. So those guys have worked their way into the top 10. That is progress. That's not fluke. It's not given places as such. So well done to Callum, Cian and Aidan up into the top 10. And Lee Pearcey with what did have the fastest lap on the last look. That's now been overtaken by Jack Smith in P2. So Charlie Devlin will try and close down, but we're on board with Callum Enstone looking back at Cian Haig and Aidan Ingram in 10th, Thomas Potter 11th, Harry Irvin in 12th place. Harry's just sent me another one of his wonderful Legends Cast documentaries, which will be out soon to do. I guess as soon as I've done the voiceover, it won't be for a few days, but excuse me, on Michael Weddell, who is one of the top runners in the Scottish Championship for real, as we run with Charlie Devlin, who we know can take the battle here to Jack Smith. So Pearcey from Smith and Devlin, and Pearcey being caught at the moment. The gap's gone from 1.5 seconds down to just under now, half a second, as they go through the Britain chicane up towards Hilltop once again. And we sometimes get this iconic shot of them coming down the hill, and it is an iconic shot because we've got a challenge on now, and Charlie Devlin here sees the inside run because Jack Smith went for the outside. He's going to hold on to the inside as they come through his lops. Oliver Gibson joining in as well. This is a super move here though by Charlie Devlin. Great racecraft from him, read the situation well. There's a little bit more momentum though out of Knickerbrook for Jack Smith, and potentially I think there from Oliver Gibson. Indeed there is, because Gibson up into 3rd place. And now Charlie Devlin's got some work to do, as into the lead goes Jack Smith with Lee Pearcey down into 2nd place. And this is what Legends Cars Racing is all about. 4-car squabble for lead position.
Yeah, this is great. The swapping back and forth, and yeah, you know who's coming out at the corner first. Some great racing by these four. It was interesting to see that although Lee had a good lead, with the 3 battling behind us, we've got literally all 4 of them in a pack together, and Scott's trying to join in as well. How they didn't drop back off the pace off Lee. They seem to be pushing each other as Lee unfortunately goes wide there. Got through now, so we've got a different group of 4 now at the front, but it looks like Jack's managed to break away a little bit to leave his brother fighting with Charlie, and again hopefully get a bit of a lead. But it seems to be every time we say, oh, they've got a bit of a gap, they get wheeled back in by the chasers, and there doesn't seem to be enough of a, I think unless you've got about 3-4 seconds on the following pack, you're not quite safe, and you've got to push all the way to the end to make sure you're getting to the finish line first.
Yeah, that's exactly Legends Racing in a nutshell, isn't it? Jack Smith though has got the lead out to 8 tenths at the moment. Charlie Devlin will get his head down and try and close back in. Smith still with the fastest lap of the race leader, with Charlie Devlin in P2. On board with Scott Bugner. Let's see what Scott can do. He's got Lee Pearcey right behind him. We should have had Lee Pearcey right. What's happened to Lee in 5th place? Actually, a little bit further back, isn't he? As Oliver rides the curbs there. One of the floppy markers will have gone for a Burton there, courtesy of Scott Bugner, who's closing in. Has been very, very consistent. Scott Bugner has maintained fourth position in the championship standings from the first event at Knockhill, which, Becky, you were looking after with Jack Oliphant for us, and probably due a win. I didn't really like to say that because there is always the curse of the commentator, but one feels that Scott is probably deserving of that. He's really adapted to these cars well. We know that he's much prefers racing in front-wheel drive, but has adapted superbly to these cars now and challenging the likes of Oliver Gibson ahead of Lee Pearcey. Chris Blake in 6th, so Chris having a good run as we look a little bit further down. Caden Cook running strongly in 7th. Cian Haig still there from Thomas Potter. Dan Heaps wraps up our top 10 at the moment. Callum Enstone still in 11th position. Aidan Ingram has dropped away a little bit down in 15th. Alex Forster trying to recover in 16th. But it is 3 cars for P2 and Oliver Gibson having another go here at Charlie Devlin.
Yeah, more action going on, and it looks like it's going to try to follow Ollie through when he manages to get the move done. I think Scott was one of our potential drivers of the round last week, wasn't he? And unfortunately, I think we probably cursed it a little bit, and he ended up, I think we had a bit of a collision towards the end as Ollie goes off there. So that's allowed Scott to get through on Charlie as well. So whether Charlie had taken a bit of avoiding action, and Scott's obviously seen the door open and has taken that place. So see if he can get up the road to chase Jack down. I'm sure Charlie will obviously keep battling. And again, it's so close. It doesn't take long for the chasing drivers to catch back up and cause an issue. I mean, you're no longer just attacking, you've got to defend as well. So, but these two are racing very closely through the chicane.
They are. It's going to be, at the moment, the extra bonus point fastest lap, which, again, I don't think we get in Legends cars normally, but the fastest lap point in VRRC racing in the official Scottish Legends. 25 points for the win, 20 points for third place. So this could become second now for Charlie Devlin. The gap is only 3 points back, first to second. And Devlin's having a go on the outside. Sweeping move on the outside run here as they go under the Paul Warwick Bridge. Chasing hard here is Devlin, again not afraid to use the outside run through Lodge Corner, still on the outside. It's only for the brave, this one, through Deer Leap. You can see why it's called Deer Leap. Devlin, what a great move. Mystery Machine, Miracle Machine more like, as he comes down to Deer Leap. But Scott Bugner's fighting back, and Scott Bugner assumes the outside run here. Can't quite do it as they go into Oulton. These two battling with each other, not doing themselves any favours in the chase of Jack Smith. So Jack will be metaphorically rubbing his hands together, but these two giving us a good old run here. Bugner versus Devlin. Devlin with the upper hand in P2 at the moment.
Yeah, very, very close. Some great control there as well, and not managing to stick it on the outside, both drivers, and not oversteer too far out of it. But yeah, some good driving as Charlie goes quite wide there. Luckily, didn't touch the grass to lose a bit of traction, and this is where I was saying about the different line through this corner. So you saw Scott take the kind of higher one. Didn't quite have the momentum to manage to get round. Jack streak in ahead to hope, again, unless anything drastic happens, takes the win for this race as we are coming to the end of our last lap. But we'll see what action comes from Charlie and Scott as they're literally bumper to bumper. It will probably be last sort of corner fighting to decide who's getting second place. So Scott goes a little bit airborne there, and again, probably doesn't help with the chasing.
No, get a little bit crossed up. He recovered it well, though. Still in P3 and within sight of Charlie Devlin. Shout out here for Cian Haig. Still in the top 10 here in 9th place. So Cian having for his best result here. His previous best was 11th at Croft. But here is our race leader, Jack Smith, who has got 3 seconds clear, courtesy of the pair of them. The erstwhile battle for second position, which Charlie Devlin has now got. He will only drop Charlie in this one 4 points. The fastest lap still with Jack Smith, who comes through Deer Leap over the grid lines. He'll come down towards the checker flag to take first honours here at Oulton Park in the Scottish Legends Cars Championship. Checker flag virtually is ready. We've got the run on for second position as well. Jack Smith the winner. Charlie Devlin takes P2 with Scott Bugner in third place from Lee Pearcey, then Chris Blakey, Oliver Gibson, Thomas Potter in 7th from Caden Cook. Cian Haig, best finish for Cian, 9th place up in the top 10. Well done, mate. Daniel Heaps 10th from Callum Enstone and Rich Hayden. Aidan Ingram is 13th, equaling his best from Knockhill, first time out. So good stuff from Aidan. 14th from Scott Hunter. That's his best result as well. We're really seeing some personal bests being done over here at Oulton Park. So I think I'm beginning to like Oulton Park virtually, probably more than the real Oulton Park. It's gone up the list. Harry Irvin 16th from Cat Potter, Paul Laramie 18th, Jack Dickerson in 19th, and we will have a word with our winners after these words from our sponsors.
I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and Helen was always there, supporting me through everything. Today, we're facing a new challenge. Helen has been diagnosed with a terrible disease. Dementia is nothing less than a worldwide epidemic. Formula One moves fast. By contrast, medical research can be painfully slow. We want to bring some of our Formula One technology into the laboratories. Our charity, Race Against Dementia, will help to accelerate the pace of dementia research. Let's beat dementia together.
So first podium of the evening, and we say hello and well done to not Jack Bugner, as I called you earlier on, Scott Bugner. So apologies, Scott, I was getting muddled up with me Jack Smith towards the end. Well done, podium, really good race as well. It went so quickly from our point of view, and it looked like a good workout to get the evening underway.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I really enjoy this track. I've never driven it in real life, but we are next season. But yeah, no, it's one hell of a track, and the cars feel really, really good around here. And yeah, that was a really good race.
It was, I mean, it was classic stuff. You know, it went from, I think, a four-way fight for the lead. You joined in, it became five-way. And then you and Charlie got stuck in together, and it was good side-by-side stuff. So that's what you can see from Legends Cars racing, and it's obviously what we can get. It's funny for me how, you know, this is virtual racing, but it again, it must be close because it's giving us the kind of racing that we do see for real with this formula on track.
Yeah, I mean, I think on a one-off lap, if it was qualifying, I think, you know, your Jacks and your Charlies and your Thomases have just got that edge on me. But in a race, as soon as you can get in that tow and in that slipstream, you can stick with them, and that kind of showed there really. And then when people in front start battling, they lose so much time that it kind of brings other people in, which is great. And that's what I like about it is, you know, it's all right having that one lap pace, but you've got to be able to do them laps for the whole duration, which you can't always do when you've got cars behind you and you're battling. So yeah, no, it's really good. I really enjoy it.
Much testing here, or were you straight in? I know because some of the youngsters can sort of come home from. It's a different dynamic for the teenagers, isn't it, to the working men who have to go out, you know, do a day in a garage or do a day whatever. You probably haven't quite got as much free time as some of the teenagers on the sim. So have you done much practice for this event?
I did about 10 or 11 laps over the weekend, and then I did a couple like this evening. So yeah, I did a little bit. I know Oulton really well, sort of on the virtual side. So as soon as I jumped in the car, I was like, wow, these feel really good. So I kind of got to grips with it quite quickly. It's just finding that extra couple of attempts on like a hot lap that it's really hard. But like I said, in the race, it's totally different. You're not setting them low 54s that we were doing in practice. You're kind of doing mid to highs and maybe even low 55s, but you've got about 20 cars behind you and bumping into you and everything. So it's totally different dynamic.
Excellent stuff. I'm going to let you get ready for race 2, but good to catch up with you, Scott. Well done on the podium, and hopefully we'll maybe grab another word with you a little bit later on. Certainly on the form we've seen in race 1, I think that could be a thing. Fingers crossed. Thank you. Thanks very much to Scott Bugner, our third place driver. God, where are the mistakes coming from this evening? We're going to go to P2, and I think Becky's going to conduct our P2 man.
Yeah, I'm going to take over or attempt to. So another great performance there, Charlie. I think that's your 7th podium of this championship. You're clearly liking the car, liking the tracks we're going to. What's your opinion on Oulton? I know it's everybody's preferred track, but how was it racing around there on the first race?
Yeah, it's probably
probably my favourite round of the entire season. Anglesey is, in my opinion, god awful. Knockhill, I enjoy racing around. I think Knockhill reverse is going to be interesting, to say the least. I think, you don't see it very often, so I think that's going to be interesting for racing a track that was obviously designed to go a different way, but then racing it in reverse. So yeah, we'll have to see as it comes later in the season, but yeah, I'm enjoying this round so far.
Brilliant, yeah. It'd be interesting to see, like you say, with the reverse, how that goes, and yeah, having to take corners a different way that you're typically used to doing. And I know you said do you normally multitask by your dinner whilst you're racing, or is that just a one-off this evening?
That's just a one-off as my chicken was getting cold, so before I get that down me quickly before the next race.
Probably a worrying thought, getting more fuel on board you before the next couple of races, because you just keep putting in performance after performance, and it's great watching you race and take on some of these moves around the outside, and you definitely keep it very interesting for us and very exciting, so it's great to see.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to do my best.
And just have a look at where you look like you're starting from towards the back for the next one. You're literally right at the back, so what do you think to the start, because you've got obviously the hill to contend with as well as just getting a good start?
Yeah, I think obviously these races on this round are quite short, so you've kind of got to be aggressive with people who are maybe a bit off the pace, but at the same time you've got to be quite patient, because if you get tangled up in an instant, you can lose a lot of points very easily. So I think it's getting the balance of being aggressive enough that you have to go for an overtake to get to the front, but yeah, you've also got to have your wits about you, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Well, fingers crossed, and good luck for the next race, and hopefully you get through nice and cleanly and give us some more action-packed racing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Becky. Well done to Charlie Devlin, and from Chicken to winner, which is Jack Smith. Well done, Jack. Another win to add to the tally significantly. I mentioned single point or single digit points lead over Charlie coming into the round, so you got to keep finishing ahead.
Yeah, that was the plan coming into this one, and yeah, didn't get to plan initially, but yeah, we pulled it back towards the end of that race, and then I just had to break out of that slipstream. As soon as I was out that, it was, yeah, I could pull away, but yeah, that slipstream is a killer around here because there's so many long straights. But yeah, no, we managed to do it in the end. And got past Lee and managed to get Lee in a position where he held Charlie up. So yeah, used Lee as a strategy almost, and yeah, we managed to pull that off and then take the win. So yeah, super happy. Played out perfectly for me here. So yeah, really like Oulton. So it's, yeah, I was really happy that I could get the win in race 1 there. So yeah, looking forward to race 2.
I remember last week as soon as we did the final interview, you were like jumping on the server and actually doing practice laps on the server. So I'm guessing you've done more than 10 laps on Oulton Park than Scott Bugner was saying he's done.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure how many off the top of my head. It's probably in the 30s, 40s maybe. So a fair few laps. But yeah, like I was pretty much on the money straight away. I really like this. I know this track inside out. So yeah, like Scott said, the car feels amazing, man. I don't know what it is. It's just like so lively, and you can just really feel everything what the car's doing. I think the track's like a really good laser scan, so it's like perfect. It's super cool. So yeah, I was really enjoying it, and yeah, the laps just kept coming in. The more you drive it, the more you get like consistent laps out of it as well. So yeah, it's nice. It's proper nice to race on as well. So yeah, I really look forward to the next few races for sure.
That's good. Have you had a busy week?
Fairly. Yeah, we went over to Manchester over the weekend. I had a 45-minute car parking session, so not as exciting. But yeah, it was sat in a car at least. So yeah, no, but it was a bit of fun. But yeah, otherwise not too much really. Just a bit of work, bit of practice on here, and yeah, just chilling really.
Any coaching?
Yeah, a few sessions here and there, which is always nice. As always, actually, this week we're running a 35% discount on all coaching sessions. So, yeah, if you're looking to get into coaching, yeah, now's the perfect opportunity. The entire week I'm running a deal. You can find it in the announcement section on the Discord. And yeah, running throughout the whole week for Cyber Monday. So, yeah, if you want to get in, now's probably the best chance to try it out, I think. So, yeah.
That's good. I'm going to give a bit of a plug actually, because a couple of people have asked me about, and I did plug it on my Instagram in the week, which is a bit of media coaching and mentoring and stuff like that. And it's actually relevant now because one of the highest achieving driver that I've done a media session for has just been announced as Red Bull's #2 for next year. Hajar.
Amazing. Yeah.
How about that? Yeah. If anyone wants any media coaching or mentoring, which I prefer to call it mentoring rather than coaching, just sort of talking about specifically what you might need to do in a club situation, give us a shout, because I think personally like media work is as important. You don't have to do media training all the time, but it doesn't hurt to keep it sharp, does it? A bit like being coached as well.
100%. It's like one of the main skills, isn't it? Being able to brand yourself. So it's up there. It's more about the branding than it is about the driving some of the times with motorsport. So yeah, it's 100% very, very much worth it, I think. So yeah.
Thanks for that, Joe. We'll have to do a double, won't we? Have to do a session where we coach and do media at the same time, find a venue. Thank you, Jack Smith. Well done on the win, and good luck for race 2.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much.
So Jack Smith, our winner. We've got less than a minute for our second race of the evening here at Oulton Park. I thought of something we were doing the interviews to say, and now it's totally slipped my mind to do with Oulton Park. But it will come back, and I'm sure it was definitely something to do with Scottish Legends as well. I mentioned the new film that's coming out from Harry Irvine. But yeah, really good race to reflect on it, Becky, in terms of lots of people getting best results in that one, and hopefully that will continue in race 2.
Yeah, again, it always gets towards the end of the series, and it's a shame that it never goes longer, because people start obviously understanding the car a bit better, and it's again fascinating to hear quite a lot of the drivers from our podium this evening for the first race saying they actually like the way the car feels around this track. So I wonder if all the kind of undulation in the track actually helps with the way these cars feel. So we'll see what route comes our way this time round.
We will. Nice, excellent timing there, straight to the start of the race, and we are away. Good luck, everybody. Cian Haig and Rich Hayden on the front row of the grid for this one. It's Rich Hayden that would lead them down into Old Hall with Callum Enstone slotting in to P2. There will be real life Scottish Legends cars racing at Oulton Park later on in 2026. They are the official support of the BTCC for the upcoming season. Cannot wait to see the Scottish Legends at Oulton Park. We've seen the Nationals a few times, obviously, with touring cars. We've seen the Scottish before as well, but really excited. 2 rounds, Knockhill and Oulton Park. And you know, maybe we'll see one or two of these drivers on the grid at that round. It would be fantastic if we can. Where has Dan Heaps come from? Into P2, into the lead round the outside of Rich Hayden as they go into the hairpin for the first time. Daniel Heaps was out of luck in race number 1, but he's looking to try and emulate what he did last time on Anglesey. He doesn't care what track it is. Oulton Park, Anglesey, Knockhill. He is gunning for another win, and he's going to try and do a Lee Pearcey here and get away. Lee Pearcey's teammate Rich Hayden in P2. Callum Enstone looking sharp and has done a good opening few corners in 3rd place, but coming under pressure from the Flying Teapot, who's going to look down the inside, and Thomas rattles the curbs a little bit there, and Callum is mindful that Thomas is there. He goes through. Then we've got Jack Smith coming up as well. Scott Bugner into 7th place. Cat Potter 8th. Charlie Devlin 9th. Harry Irvine in 10th place. So again, Harry's done a good opening few corners and looking to try and better his current season best, which was at Knockhill in round 1. But decent, clean start there again, Becky.
Yeah, and Daniel Heaps, you say, where did he come from? He just seems to really be enjoying this championship and this car, and it really seems to be getting the best out of him. He's put in some great performances in the last few rounds, but yeah, he's storming ahead on this race. I'm not even too sure where he started from. Like we say, we don't actually know where he came from, but he's just there. He's leading the way. He's obviously leaving everybody to battle behind him. And then we've got obviously Jack Smith that's made his way up to P4, and Charlie Devlin who's already in P8 from the back of the grid. So keep an eye on those two especially, as well as Scott as well. Like we said earlier, Scott Buckner seems to be enjoying this car, though he'll be slowly made his way up as he's battling with Lee Pearcey there and Callum Enstone. So in a bit of a sandwich there. Rich and Thomas always seem to be in a bit of a battle at some point during our Tuesday night racing. So they're back to their normal way, battling away for P2.
I think Rich might be giving him a wide berth there, and he's got Jack Smith looking up the inside as yeah, Jack, I think, is going to get that move done. So we've got Lee Pearcey moving up into the mix as well. Lee Pearcey looking fairly strong this round as well. Scott Bugner down behind them. That's our top 6. Callum Enstone still in 7th. Charlie Devlin 8th for Cat Potter. Harry Irvin, Paul Laramie 11th for Scott Hunter. Ollie Gibson down in 13th. Alex Forster in 14th from Jack Dickerson. Then it is Chris Blakey, Caden Cook in Hague, Aidan Ingram in 19th. So they'll be a little bit disappointed. But remember, they had their best finishes in race number 1 and got into decent positions, not courtesy of reverse grid racing. So well done to them. Yeah, Daniel Heaps is certainly one driver that I would like to see on. So I'd like to see everyone actually circuit racing, to be fair. But it'd be lovely to see him maybe make that connection with the Irish Legends Cars Championship run by Paul O'Brien. If you haven't made contact yet, make sure you do. And if not, I might ping Daniel and Paul just to have a conversation about maybe getting a drive in a Legends car. He's certainly aware of it, but it would be good to get Daniel out and about, see whether he can have a drive for real as we get this 4-car scrap going on behind us here. And Charlie Devlin, the man, looking to try and pick off a few places. And as we say that, wonderful direction from Steve, switching over to in car. He's looking on the outside line here of Rich Hayden, who goes out wide. Bugner through on the inside. Charlie Devlin, just one correction on the wheel, loses the place that he initially gained. And Rich Hayden's trying to tee up the inside on the little kink as they come down to Cascades. Really is a battle between these two. Where is Rich? Oh, we've lost him. I think Rich is in the mirror, having spun away. So Rich Hayden out of it. And so disappointment then for Rich Hayden, who, whether there was contact or not, I don't know. Rich penalised himself in last week's results, I noticed. So again, being as fair as possible to all the folk that say that he isn't. To my mind, he is. As Callum Enstone's having a super race here, and was that a side swipe? Was that side by side with Charlie Devlin? Callum up into 6th place and having a good run, faster and I think more consistent than we've seen him so far this year, with Thomas Potter still chasing Daniel Heaps with Jack Smith in P3. Here are the leaders coming down from Hilltop. Now, Becky, did you see that move? Was it a bit of contact between Callum and Charlie?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact as we came out of Shadow's corner. Obviously, Charlie taking the higher line, and unfortunately, I don't know who drifted where. But yeah, there definitely seemed to be a little bit of contact. It was amazing that on board with Charlie though, watching, you saw all the red arrows to, there was other cars about, and they just seemed to be all round him. And I think there were a few taps here and there on Charlie's car. So for him to have managed to keep it going forward in that moment, there was a couple of sketchy moments where it looked like he was going to lose it, but corrected it and managed to keep going. Unfortunately, not the same could be said for Rich, whether there was a contact there, or just hard racing, and maybe went into a corner a little bit too fast and lost the back end. They do seem so twitchy and quite likely to slide. They seem to like a drift, these cars, which is always something to watch when the drivers do it, especially if they can catch it. I think it might have been in Knockhill. We had 2 drivers alongside each other did a drift, some kind of like unison. It was like, I think you referenced it in Oulton Park earlier in the year. It was like synchronized swimming.
You do tend to get that. I don't think it's a coincidence that one of the motorsport personalities who uses Legends cars in his, I don't say act, but in his profession is Terry Grant. If you know the stuntman Terry Grant, he was actually one of the star drivers in Legends cars in the first couple of years of national racing. It started in '96, and Terry was there '96 and '97, and so he can control a car anyway. But obviously, he's thoroughly enjoyed racing the Legends car, and then actually made it part of his trade as a stunt driver and stunt show artist. He's one of the very best in the world, and he has that connection with Legends Cars UK. As we watch Jack Smith in P3, good consistent points here from him as Scott Bugner gets it a little bit sideways. It's still Daniel Heaps out front from Thomas Potter in P2, Jack Smith in 3rd, Lee Pearcey 4th from Scott Bugner. A little bit more space developing between the runners here than we had in race number 1. It's still gone quickly. This is lap 4 of the 6. We've got an 8-lap final coming up as well. Having said I didn't like using the word final last time around, of course, never mind. Race 3 with the total reverse on the points scored. Callum Enstone giving us plenty to think about here. And now it is Charlie Devlin who's got back ahead of Callum, but Callum running consistently inside the top 10. Jack Smith with the fastest lap again. So Jack with 2 fastest laps under his belt in the 2 races so far. I think taking fastest lap off Charlie Devlin, who held it before him, as we watch Charlie trying to pull away from Callum Enstone and doing so with Cat Potter running well in 8th position. Oliver Gibson 9th. Alex Forster's got himself up into the top 10. 11th at the moment is Harry Irvin, who's having a good consistent one. And again, as you said, Becky, as the momentum of the championship builds up, a lot of the drivers get to grips with the cars. Just as they're getting to grips with it, we get towards the end of the campaign, and no real chance for them to improve their results.
Yeah, and they were just going to throw a spanner in the works and give them a new championship to go and try to master. Just to like to keep them on their toes. But it's good to see. I think everybody's enjoyed. So again, not speaking on behalf of all the drivers, but it looks like everybody's enjoyed this championship with how close the racing is and how exciting the cars seem to be on tracks, and the different tracks we're getting. And again, the reverse of Anglesey, that's Knockhill, sorry, that's coming up to end the season with. That will be a really interesting race to watch. I think again, it just baffles with your mind a little bit to begin with, whilst you're trying to get to terms with going round the other way. It probably just feels a bit wrong, but Daniel Heaps is still managing to keep his lead. I know I said earlier, CB, you need a few seconds advantage, but he seems to be just managing to keep about a second, maybe just under, ahead of these two that are battling behind. And now we've got Jack going for the move on Thomas. He's going to manage to stick it round the outside, a little bit of a tap there, losing it as he's coming round, and manages to catch the back end coming through dearly. So he'll go again, probably through to our first corner, go for the inside, but Thomas is trying to close the door, not quite quick enough with that defence there, and Jack sweeps through. But we'll see. Obviously, Thomas will probably come back through as we come down to Cascade.
Yeah, Thomas is going for the cutback, isn't he, on the inside here? It's the outside by the time they get down to the next corner. Here they go. So Thomas is trying, if he'd have maybe carried on the outside run there, he might have got enough momentum to take it round Island Bend through Lakeside, but doesn't quite do that. It's been good news for Daniel Heaps, who's been quick enough to hang on to it. Potter's having another go, though, and again trying to tee up the outside here, and just loses momentum off onto the grass, back on track. They're far enough ahead of Lee Pearcey in 4th place that doesn't really do any damage to Thomas, other than just extinguishing his challenge for 2nd place. Scott Bugner and Charlie Devlin, I think, are now engaged in battle behind these guys, but it's Daniel Heaps still out front as we get, no, it isn't, in fact it's Lee Pearce, isn't it, ahead of Scott Bugner. So I beg Charlie Devlin's pardon. He's still there in 6th position and scoring decent points as Jack Smith tries to close up on Daniel Heaps. I tell you what, you might be able to have a nibble before the end of this lap and this race, as Scott Bugner gets a little bit sideways going into the chicane. But Daniel Heaps, Becky, has he done enough to hang on here?
It's going to get very close. I'm sure Daniel would have hoped Jack and Thomas kept fighting, and unfortunately with Thomas and that off, that's put Daniel probably under a bit of pressure of keeping Jack behind him. But we've only got a little while to go, so he's going to pray that he manages to just stick ahead. But there's still just one more opportunity. But no, Daniel's managed to stick it out and get the win done.
There he goes. Across the line, it's going to be Daniel Heaps that takes it. Jack Smith was closing in and will take another podium, 2nd position. So Jack Smith, our only double podium driver from the first 2 races, in 2nd place. Thomas Potter 3rd, Lee Pearcey in 4th from Scott Bugner and Charlie Devlin. Callum Enstone, excellent 7th place from Alex Forster. Cat Potter in the top 10 again in 9th. Oliver Gibson in 10th place from Paul Laramie. In 12th was Rich Hayden. Scott Hunter in 3rd. So Scott Hunter's having a mega round. He's again bettered his previous best here. Well done, Scott. 13th place. Harry Irvin 14th from Caden Cook. Aidan Ingram 16th from Chris Blakey. Jack Dickerson and Cian Haig completing the finishers. And we will have some more podium interviews for you in just a minute or so. So for our second podium of the evening, we kick things off with another regular VRRC podium finisher. A little bit away from things in race 1. We're about to find out why. But first of all, we say well done, Thomas Potter, on P3.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. I feel like definitely have a pace for a P1 or well, maybe kept P2 if I didn't make a couple of mistakes. But I guess it's not very bad for being early tonight.
What's the matter?
Something with my stomach. Not quite sure why, but there's something going on in my house. My mum's got it too, so I'm sure it'll eventually go away.
That's not good. Well, we wish you all well and hope that that doesn't last too long. What are your thoughts on Oulton Park? I think Oulton Park is the venue for the last round of your maiden campaign in Fiesta Juniors, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm quite happy for that one because I actually love Oulton Park, as I'm sure you can tell with the amount of laps I've done practicing, but I don't really know where I found the pace for it other than last night my dad gave me advice. So if you want to learn how to drive a real car and I guess a Legends car, just ask my dad with his driving skill. But yeah, he gave me some advice and I ended up finding a pace to match Jack Smith and eventually beat him in the practice server, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, I've definitely got a lot of love for Oulton.
That's good. What's your favourite track off the campaign, though?
Of this series now or Fiesta?
Yeah, just out of the current campaign.
It's either Oulton or Croft. I feel like I should probably be saying Croft for home bias, but Oulton Park I do just love the track, and my friend Thomas Harper, his dad, loves it and so does he, so I guess it runs in my name. But yeah, I think Oulton just tops Croft.
Certainly produced some good racing and a lot of work to do. I'm guessing now you've had a podium, decent point score, so a decent amount of work to do from the back. What were you feeling that poorly in race 1? Was that actually what caused the issues in race 1 for you?
That's not really what caused the issues, although obviously it's going to lead to mistakes, me not being able to, which happened, which is when Jack caught me here, but that wasn't really the issue. I'm not 100% sure on really how I ended up on the grass, but I guess I'll have a look in the replay back and probably find out why. I don't know if it was my mistake or another driver's mistake, or maybe just a racing incident. In all fairness, it was at the start, so probably just a racing incident, but that's really what caused that, and to be honest, I don't really know what else, because in the Legends you kind of forget what happened in the last corner with how fun they are to drive.
That's good. Have you been out in anything since last week? Obviously, you were talking about your Fiesta tests before, but have you done anything over the week?
Ask me that in on round. Well, actually, no, you won't be able to do it on round 6 because I'm out on the Wednesday, not the Tuesday. But I've technically just gave it away now, haven't I?
Where are you going?
I'll be out again down at Brighton, sharing with Thomas Harper again. So thanks to them for that. And yeah, that's all I really know going so far. So that's kind of what's going to go there. So that's the answer.
Okay, nice one, Thomas. We've got some other interviews to do. Well done on getting onto the podium, and so wishing everyone in the household well, health-wise. So and we maybe see you for race 3.
Thank you. Can I quickly say thanks to everyone on my car? You have meant so much to me over my journey into moving into Fiestas, and for this round especially, massive thanks to Glenn Davies. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but he's just bought me a hands device, so huge thanks to that, and he's also going to put a lot of money towards my racing, so thank you so much to him, as well as everyone on my car, and time to have another good race.
Nice one, thanks, Thomas. Let's go over to Becky for our P2 interview.
Another great performance from yourself there, Jack. Was it? I know people have said this track doesn't always seem the easiest to overtake on. Clearly, you managed to do quite a few overtakes. You started back in P12, so talk us through the start and how you managed to make up so many positions.
Yeah, I think I got very lucky that incident around the corner just before the hairpin. There was someone spinning in front of me. I tried to get out of the way, but it was inevitable. But yeah, we managed to get out of that straight on, which is quite lucky. So saved that and carried on. And just from that sort of whole huddle of cars, I think I gained a fair few positions from that. So yeah, I got out of the way, thankfully, without any damage or any like heavy damage at least. So got away with that, and then yeah, just chasing down the leaders really, and yeah, we had a fair few good battles. I'm not really sure what happened with Thomas. My car felt like it just washed out, and then I didn't feel like I was in the middle of the circuit really. I thought I was still on the left-hand side, but we will have to see afterwards. But yeah, if it was Summit with Thomas, I never like to be in incidents like that. It's like horrible when it's hit and miss. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens afterwards. But yeah, I feel like the racing with Thomas was proper. So yeah, if we can get some more racing like that, I think that'll be amazing for the final race.
Yeah, the pair of you always seem to give a good fight to each other, and I think it was just a bit unfortunate. It was Island Bend, wasn't it? It just kind of crept up, and there was the grass on the right there. He's just dropped a wheel in and lost it. So no, not too much harm done, and you managed to secure P2. I bet you were hoping for another lap to be able to chase down Daniel though.
Yeah, if I had one more lap, I think I might have been able to do it. But yeah, that final corner, I got such a good run. I was chasing him down, and I got like within 3 tenths. But yeah, one enough to catch Daniel at the end. So yeah, fair play to him. I think is that second win of the season for him. So he's flying this season. Dan's really liking this car. It's proper his style. So yeah, big well done to Dan. He's come on massively really since, well, for however many seasons he's been with VRRC now. So yeah, massive well done to him, and yeah, looking forward to race 3.
Yeah, well, good luck for race 3, and again, another great performance. I think you've only been off the podium once in this championship, so definitely a force to be reckoned with. So good luck for the next race, and we'll pass it back over to Richard for a final interview.
Thanks, Becky. Becky, well done to Jack as well. Daniel Heaps is our race. Very well done, and you're making a real habit of winning here. So obviously another track that you enjoyed, and I've got to say, I mean, Jack got close-ish towards the end, but he didn't really look in danger during the main part of the race of losing that.
Yeah, I was just more looking at my mirrors, making sure I saw them start the battle at the last. Oh wait, am I still on you?
No, you're right. Okay, we can hear you.
Sorry, the yoke in the corner showed I was on mute. So yeah, I saw them two battling in the back, and I was like, just don't make a mistake. They're going to end up slowing each other down. Just keep going as you're going. Because I barely had any laps of practice, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, you probably do need those, but you know, you probably don't, saying that, because whenever we stick you in the car, you always go quick, and you've now had wins at 3 of the 4 events. So obviously there's some sort of synergy going on. I must put you in touch with Paul O'Brien. He won't give you a drive in Legends, but I think there's obviously dialogue that needs to happen with you and Paul. So you know, there's racing at Modelo that you can do. So I think we need to do that.
Give me a drive, you bet.
It would. Paul doesn't give anything away. He's a businessman, but you know, I'm sure you could come to some sort of arrangement somewhere along the line. Race 3, though, again, loads of work to do off the bat. How are you feeling about
that? Feeling good now. The last few race 3s I've had, I haven't gone so great. So hopefully this will be the end of all of them. So starting last this time and just gonna try and stay out of the chaos.
Easier said than done, though, isn't it, in Legends and in VRRC racing generally, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, definitely. I know definitely from all the other race trees, I've got caught up in a good few of the crashes. So hopefully this time I won't be.
Fingers crossed, mate. Good luck for race 3. We're getting the signal to say that we all need to be getting ready to go. So Daniel Heaps, well done to you on your 3rd race win of the campaign. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Always good to hear from Daniel Heaps, and sort of underlining the cosmopolitan nature of the championship, that we've got drivers from England, Scotland, and taking part, which is great. A few overseas drivers wouldn't go amiss as well. Maybe some Americans, who I think server-wise might be a little bit difficult, but you never know. We'll see what we can sort out for future series with the Scottish Legends Cars Championship. It is race 3 time, 8 laps, an extra couple of laps, Becky. Kian Haig is on pole position with Jack Dickinson alongside. I'm surprised to see Kian there. He's driven really well. He's actually had 2 of his best results so far. Depending on what he does here, could be in line for driver of the day. We've got our eyes on several drivers for that are making good progress. Callum Enstone's had some good results as well. I think both of his results have been best of the series. We knew he was capable in the minis. No time to say any more, because the lights are on and we're very nearly ready for our final race of the evening here at Oulton Park. It's been better than I thought it was going to be so far, but here we go. The totally reverse grid race is underway. Cian Haig will lead them away. Chris Blakey challenging Jack Dickerson for P2 to go into Old Hall. It's a wide line from Jack Dickerson, who's actually held out pretty well. This is a nerve-wracking moment for many of these drivers. He's down to 4th place at the moment. Aidan Ingram is up into 3rd. Aidan had a super result in race 1 as well, so Aidan potentially a driver of the round as well. It's, you know, great for us to recognise the guys at the front, but also we need to keep an eye on those that are making progress. First few corners here. Before we came to air today, I said it was going to be a crash fest on the opening laps. I got it wrong. I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, it's all staged fairly neat. There's just saw a few cars go a little bit off track there, but nothing, no major crashes, no. As there was a little bit of a barge there with Harry and Rich there, but Harry's managed to get back on track. But yeah, no massive kind of pile-ups, which is always great to see. It's always challenging on the first lap, and you're all kind of stuck together, and you're all aiming for the same part of the track and the same corner. So it's being sensible and not going too mad. Like Charlie said before, with where you make your moves, you've got to be aggressive. As Chris has just taken first place at the moment, with again being aggressive, being assertive, getting the move done. You don't want to hesitate too much and then lose momentum or anything, but it's not doing it so that you're then going to cause a crash, cause yourself to drop down the positions. It's picking your moment.
Absolutely right, and I'll tell you what, Chris Blakey picked his moment, and Cian Haig is picking a moment too to have a go back and re-challenge for the lead. It's Blakey on the outside in black and gold. Cian Haig in the all blue car. He's got the lead back. Super stuff from Cian Haig, and also in the mix as well is Aidan Ingram. Aidan really coming on form as well in this race. It's one thing to make progress, it's another thing to be battling here as they go 3 wide into Old Hall. This could end in tears, very, very likely. And it's Ingram into the lead. Superb move from Aidan Ingram, who passes Haig and Blakey. He's got the lead. And I think it's the first time that we've seen Ingram, if not in the lead, certainly take the lead. Magnificent move by him as they still thrash it out for that 2nd and 3rd place, with Caden Cook in 4th, another driver here who could be on potentially for driver of the round. Rich Hayden in 5th, Charlie Devlin next up. Charlie Devlin coming through well, already up into 6th. The Mystery Machine is coming through. 7th place, Haig drops back. That's a pity. Blakey and Cian Haig both off. Major shame there. Blakey was showing in the lead whilst the car was off the track, but it's Caden Cook now who takes over at the front from Rich Hayden. Hayden on his inside, Cook on the outside, and Charlie Devlin now through all that comes through into P3. It's up into 2nd. Devlin through into 2nd place, and in fact down to 3rd. Rich Hayden loses the lead. Caden Cook still there at the moment. Well, this is very, very frenetic, as you would expect from the total points reverse. Look at this. We have got 6 cars for the lead. Yeah,
it always causes some unexpected moments, the kind of complete reverse grid. It always keeps it interesting for everybody and keep you on your toes. Again, you're probably racing against people that you might not commonly race against, so it's learning how they race, how you can go about racing, as we've got this Rich and Caden Cook going off. Oh no, it wasn't, because Caden's in the lead. Might have been, I'm not too sure who Rich came off with. It was Scott, I think, in the other sort of orange livery car. So they've come off, but you can see they're hopefully going to recover, as Aidan, he's recovered. He's in 7th at the moment. So yeah, unfortunate that incident between Chris Blakey and Aidan there. That was it would have been great to see that battle out to the end.
It would have been good to see it go on longer, as going sideways is Charlie Devlin trying to get past Caden Cook and get into the lead. They've sorted themselves out. They're pointing in the right direction now, and that direction means that Devlin's got his nose in front momentarily. Cook's on the inside though as they come down the hill round the left-hander, and it is now Charlie Devlin who's got up front. But look at Jack Smith. Jack Smith doesn't want to lose points to Charlie Devlin in this one. 4-way battle for the lead. Oliver Gibson is up in the mix as well. Looks like Oliver Gibson's had a turnaround of form here as well. But Caden Cook has been an absolute revelation in this one. Comes across, grabs the line from Jack Smith as they go through the banking at Island Turn. We're on board with Oliver Gibson. Thomas Potter has worked his way through and into 5th. He's hungry to get another podium in P5. Cian Haig still in 6th position. Superb stuff from Cian Haig, head of Scott Bugner. Aidan Ingram still in 8th, with Dan Heaps and Callum Enstone in the top 10. So we've got 3 drivers normally outside the top 10 who are there and holding position very well as we get towards the halfway stage of the race. This is very encouraging from some of our newer drivers to VRRC. But Charlie Devlin now is going to aim to break the toe from Caden Cook in P2. Jack Smith and Oliver Gibson up ahead of Thomas Potter. Jack Smith here has managed to outscore Charlie Devlin in both of the races so far this evening, so he can afford maybe to drop points on this one, but he won't want to, as Oliver Gibson gives him a little bit of a run. There won't be any team racing between those two. The brothers will both want to take maximum points if they're able to. Caden Cook P2 at the moment. I tell you what, you can see that the brothers aren't helping each other, because if anything, the fact that they are dicing is keeping them back from Caden Cook in P2. Let's see whether we get a sort out now. Thomas Potter now looking on the inside of Oliver Gibson, goes up close-ish to the wall, down the inside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to complete the move? Looking in all the mirrors to see, there is Oliver Gibson in the mirrors, move complete.
Yeah, and that seems to have just released Jack. There's been some great defensive moves from Caden, though, as we were coming into the first chicane that we're almost going to be approaching again. He came very aggressively onto the inside as Thomas came up. I don't know if there was a little bit of a tap on the back there, which might have caused Caden to maybe just lose a bit of momentum there. Obviously unsteady the car, and obviously you probably don't feel quite as confident with being full throttle through some of these corners. As Thomas tries to stick it on the inside and get the overtake done on Jack. So as soon as Thomas has been released, he said he obviously felt he had the pace in the last race for the win. So we'll see. We've got coming up to sort of towards the end of the 4th lap. So we'll have 4 more to go.
4 more to go, half distance, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if Thomas can close that gap. He's just under about 3 seconds. So hopefully he'll be hoping to drop Jack and be able to push forward and see if he can chase Charlie down. But we know with Charlie, he seems to just keep getting faster with each lap he does. So I'm not actually. We'll have to double check to see who's got the fastest lap at the moment. But yeah, we'll see what Thomas can do, but I'm sure he's obviously got Jack right on his tail, so he'll be more preoccupied with that at the moment than chasing Charlie down.
Yeah, do you know what? They should have had an unwritten code to say work together, close down on Charlie Devlin. They're not going to do that. Thomas Potter's got the fastest lap, by the way, Becky. And now Jack Smith goes in front. Jack will try and close down on Charlie Devlin, but 3.5 seconds is a lot to catch up over the course, where they're very evenly matched, over the course of another 4 laps. And Thomas Potter fighting back. So Potter back into P2 as Cian Haig gets stuck in with Scott Bugner. Cian having a superb race here, and in 5th position, again on for perhaps his best finish. He's had an 11th and a 9th. By far and away his best meeting in that blue car. And I do hope that he can hang on and get some good points out of this one. He's got Caden Cook and Scott Bugner with him as well. But Thomas Potter back into P2, trying to come back now is Jack Smith, who tries to slide his way through on the inside, and he's going to work the outside run here as they go into the hairpin once again. He'll go high and wide, or will he not? No, he's actually dropped back a little bit into the wheel tracks of Potter to try and get more momentum down into the Britain's chicane. If he can get momentum through the chicane and up the hill, we might be able to get a run down the inside into the chicane. But all the time these two are squabbling. This is great news for Charlie Devlin, who's actually got the fastest lap now. Charlie making the most of the open track and his own skill to bang in the fastest lap of the race and sort of underline this race lead at the moment. Charlie Devlin looks like he could be on for win 3 of the campaign as we go back to the Bugner, Cook and Haig battle, with Aidan Ingram trying to join in as well. Aidan's still in 9th place, Lee Piercy in 10th. Good performances in this round wherever you look, and a cracking scrap on for P2, whilst Charlie Devlin is Billy No Mates out front.
Yeah, Jack Smith said he wanted a bit more battering with Thomas. Felt a bit like it was cut short with the incident in the last race, so he'll be happy that he needs to get a bit more action alongside Thomas and some good racing, but it's bringing Ollie Gibson into play as well. So again, we can always say about the brothers maybe working together, but it's coordinating it, isn't it? And managing to get the moves done as Jack's got the interline to our first corner, but it means it then comes to Thomas on the second one. Thomas managed to keep the lead, or the P2 position anyway, kept the momentum ahead of Jack. So keep tossing for those positions as we've got 3 wide here with Daniel Heaps trying to make us work. Well, keep these two as a little bit of a tap from Caden into Kian. So, but seemed to sort it out. Caden seemed to have backed off a bit to obviously probably alleviate any sort of penalty that might come his way, but maybe again just unsettled his own car.
Ian in P7 at the moment, and yeah, really good to see him that high up. Jack Smith runs very wide there. Was that a very deep run into the hairpin? Loses out, and it's Oliver Gibson that comes through into third. So Ollie Gibson now up onto a potential podium, and Ollie's going to have a go at the teapot now. Charlie Devlin still with the fastest at 5.9 seconds clear. There he is. There's the leader, Charlie Devlin, on his way to a 3rd win of the campaign. Unless something goes dramatically wrong, I don't think it will for Charlie Devlin. Thomas Potter in P2, Oliver Gibson 3rd, Jack Smith 4th. Then it's Scott Bugner, again consistent in 5th place. Daniel Heaps has come through for 6th. Kian Haig in 7th, Caden Cook 8th, Aidan Ingram in the top 10. Aidan's really arrived at this round as well, 9th place. That is so good to see. Lee Piercy in 10th, Callum Enstone 11th. He's had a strong round as well. Scott Hunter 12th. Rich Hayden reports that he's been punted off in every race and he's retired. So no doubt there will be some judicials in the morning to take into account. And disappointment for Rich, but we are on the antepenultimate lap of the race, and it's Oliver Gibson now taking the battle to Thomas Potter. And this is all about P2 now, isn't it? Between these two at the moment, I do rather think, though, that Jack Smith will get back into the battle and maybe will be able to nick a P2 possibly by the end. But it's the penultimate lap, 2 more laps to go. Jack Smith looking to try and close in. He's dealt with Thomas Potter a couple of times, but Potter's been equal to him. Is he going to be able to hold on from the 2 brothers?
Yeah, but I'm sure Thomas will give it his all to obviously defend, even though he said he's obviously feeling a bit under the weather. So I'm sure he'll be hoping the end comes soon so he can just put his feet up and relax. But knowing Thomas, he won't. He'll probably be practicing on the next track as soon as this evening's finished. But yeah, Jack seems to be reeling them back in slowly but surely. He's not dropped off too far. And like we always say, it seems to be you can drop off a bit and then all of a sudden you're back in the battle again. So Jack will again keep pushing, hopefully manage to overtake his brother cleanly and then go after Thomas. But again, see if they can team up and get an overtake done. Maybe swamp him on either side to maybe cause a bit of that much of a distraction to Thomas. Giving away some of my strategy tips. I'm not saying the tips, they probably wouldn't work. But yeah, try to sandwich him and get the momentum and work together as we look back at Caden Cook defending from Lee Piercy, and Adu obviously recovered after an off with Chris Blakey earlier.
Yeah, still doing well with the top 10. I know he's got the potential to do so much better as the 2 brothers engage now. And Jack Smith slices his way through past Oliver Gibson and back up onto the podium. At the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing, if things stay the way they are, we're not going to be seeing an Oliver Gibson podium this evening, which is a pity. Always nice to catch up with Oliver as the cars come up to complete lap 7. The race leader is already on to the final lap, so Charlie Devlin, the race leader, just under 7 seconds clear at the moment. Thomas Potter still in P2. Now, Jack Smith gets the fastest lap of the race. So Smith sets the fastest lap, but he's been embroiled in this battle from around about a 3rd distance and hasn't been able to get a clear run at Charlie Devlin, who has worked his way through the field. Remember, this isn't a race that Charlie Devlin has driven off the front in the reverse grid. He's had to work his way through the field. He scored well in the 2 heats. Wasn't the top scorer on the day, but scored well nonetheless and had a lot of work to do to come through the field. And he's got 6 seconds clear of Thomas Potter. Here is our race leader, Charlie Devlin, and this has been another Charlie Devlin masterclass. This one, he's done everything he needed to do.
Yeah, I don't think he could have done any better in the race. Kept it clean, as he looked like he was going a little bit too sideways then, but obviously not. So yeah, another great performance by Charlie there. Again, another force to be reckoned with. It's always good to see kind of us mixing it up a little bit. And I like to see actually how he looked to cut that corner just a little bit there, whether that was just the angle of the shot we had there, or just maybe a little bit too eager on his turn in. But I'm sure either way, even if he gets a penalty for that, he will still be well enough ahead to get his win.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a little bit of showboating going on as he was drifting his way through the Britain's chicane, but he's going down through Deer Leap, and I was worried that he was slowing down, but not enough for the others to catch him up. And it's going to be Charlie Devlin who's going to grab a second interview of the night as he comes through Lodge Corner. Here's Deer Leap, and a little bit of the runoff, nice and neat and tidy over the grid lines, down towards the checker flag. And it is a win at Oulton Park in race 3 as we go side by side for second position. This is going to be a difficult one to call at the moment. It's going to be Thomas Potter. Actually, it wasn't as difficult to call as we thought out in the end. It was Thomas Potter in second place and Jack Smith in third position, with Oliver Gibson in fourth place. Scott Bugler takes fifth from Daniel Heaps. Cian Haig in seventh. And again, he had his best results in the first 2 races and does even better, having scored well and started further off the back. Cian Haig gets 7th position in race 3. So well done to Cian behind Daniel Heaps. Lee Piercy 8th, Caden Cook. Aidan Ingram in 10th place. So top 10 for Aidan Ingram. Super stuff from him this evening as well. Well done, Aidan. Callum Enstone 11th from Scott Hunter, who's done so well tonight as well. Catherine Potter 13th. Alex Forster 14th. We're not going to get chat to Alex this evening, but hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday, Alex. Jack Dixon in 15th place, and Rich Hayden, as we heard, having a DNF. We will be back after this ad break and have our final interviews of the evening. Welcome back, everybody, and final podium interviews of the evening. I'm going to start off with our driver of the round. He's probably wondering why he's been pulled into Parc Ferme. But Cian Haig, Cian, we are awarding you driver of the round. Well done. Super set of results this evening. And great to finally talk to you on air. Congratulations. How are you?
Yeah, it was good. There was a bit of hassle with network and that, but managed to get it all sorted out and managed to keep going. Just found my groove there, so went for it.
Absolutely brilliant stuff, and obviously better results than Knockhill. I'm guessing you've done quite a lot of practice there. You're one of the guys that's sort of involved in the Scottish paddock?
I do a little bit of help out with Keith Atkinson and that, and then I've done a little bit of driving just at the fireworks there just a couple of weeks ago, but apart from that, not really much.
And much time on the Sims?
Yeah, plenty of time on the Sims.
And just how transferable are the skills that you're getting maybe to take on to track with you?
To be fair, yeah, the skills are there. It's like you get a lot of your car control in that, and just getting used to the car. Like you can see on the sim how they kind of react in that, and then transferring that into the real car. It's there, but it's not a million miles away.
That's really good. The Scottish Championship, we were absolutely thrilled that Andrew and Harry and everyone, let us do this, because I think the Scottish Championship deserves a a good highlight, you know, and it's proved how good it is. The racing that we've seen over the years, I've been lucky enough to have been a part of it in the early days, and also going to be, you know, obviously back on board with it at the BTCC rounds next year. So will we see you with the teams at that one, if not on track?
I'll be with the teams at least. I'll see how I can get on, and I might try and get on track, but I'll definitely be there with the team.
That'll be mega, mate. Well, look forward to seeing you, and many congratulations on the progress that you and several other drivers, to be fair, have made this evening. But your 3 races stood out for us, so well done, Cian Haig, on being our driver of the round. Well done, mate.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Cian, for joining us. First interviews with us on VRRC in our official Scottish Legends Cars Esports Championship, and we're going to go to P3, which is not really where he likes to. Decent points nonetheless over the course of the evening, and I get to say hello again to Jack Smith. Hat-trick on the podium, Jack. Not too bad.
Yeah, not a bad evening really. Yeah, pit Larry on that last race, but yeah, it was decent. Yeah, I was really pushing towards the end. Had that tiniest little clip of the grass, and it sent me wide at the hairpin, so I was fuming. So I proper locked in and just got a 53.9 out. I don't know where that's come from, but yeah, I caught back up to him, and then yeah, it's so close across the line. I think I just squeezed a bit onto the grass, and then that lost me momentum. I was like, no, go on, leaning back and forth in my chair. But yeah, no, it was really, really close. I think it was like 200ths across the line, so yeah, proper close. But yeah, no, it's quality, and yeah, just really happy with results. Triple podium again, so yeah, massive points haul, and yeah, it's looking good for the championship.
The thing that struck me, and I'm guessing this is the case, it didn't look like you and Dolly were helping each other there at all. You were both all racing for position, and you know, the cynics might say, oh yeah, you're going to help each other out, but there didn't appear to be that going on.
No, I mean, towards the end, I think Ollie could have made a few more moves on me, but I think he saw an opportunity of maybe me and Thomas coming together or something. I don't know. He was maybe like holding back because of that. But yeah, he was being tactical, and I always tend to race me. I never want us to just like play a team battle. I wanted to try and race me on circuit and stuff. So yeah, I know it says we're in the same team, but trust me, we're definitely racing each other.
That's pretty good. So any thoughts on sort of wrapping up? I mean, you've said it really. I mean, 3 podiums, really good points over the course of the evening, and that's what you need. That's what Legends is about. It's not necessarily about winning the race all the time. It's about good, consistent point scoring. I think the late great Tick Stewart, who was the twice champion in the first 4 years of the Nationals, always said, you know, you could finish every race in 4th place and be champion.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm pretty sure I've won a championship before by like not even winning. So it's like you don't need to end up in P1 as long as you get the points every round. That's what matters at the end of the day. So yeah, no, that's what we tried to do today, and I think we did pretty well. I saw Charlie got away at the start, and yeah, I was like, no, we're catching him now. He's got the pace that, you know, I haven't got the pace to catch him up towards the end of that race. So yeah, it was just a nice big battle for us 3 towards the end of that, and it was quality. So I hope it looked as good on the stream as it felt in the car, because yeah, it was mega.
Yeah, some good racing. So what's the rest of the evening and week like for you? Is it off down the hop cavern now and then studying for the rest of the week?
I'll probably setting up. Well, I'm probably going to do a few laps on Anglesey, to be fair, get the hot lap out the way. And then yeah, I'm just gonna chill out, and then yeah, we'll see. But yeah, definitely some more car stuff coming up. Me and a few mates were looking at maybe getting an Enduro car, which would be quite fun. Yeah, the Enduro KA series. I don't know if you probably know it.
Yeah, I do know it. Yeah, it's not one that I work on because it's not VRRC, but C1s are the way forward. VRRC.
Yeah. I'll add that to the bucket of potential options.
yeah, and also they do, and also of course C1s, if you're racing in City Car Cup, do student motorsport as well, so you can get local colleges involved, and that's a good. But not absolutely nothing wrong with the KAs, and I'd love to be involved with that as well. But the one that I have experience of with at that end of racing, certainly C1s, and you've got C1s, you've got City Car Cup, so you can race in either of those. But yeah, great. Sounds like a good thing to get stuck in with for next year. Well done, Jack. Anyway, well done on 3 podiums. Always great to catch up with you, mate.
Cheers, and well done to Becky as well for the interviews. They've been really good. So yeah, can't wait to watch them back.
Nice
Thank you very much.
Yeah, nice one. Well done, Becky, and over to you for P2.
You've bigged me up. It might all go downhill now, but yeah, good to be interviewing Tom finally. Good race there. Managed to probably make up for not a major sort of downside to last race, but little off that cost you P2, but you managed to secure it this time, and another good battle with yourself and Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, after that first lap, I was happy to even come in the top 5 by the end of the race. Then Caden, who's just done amazing defending them all, where I managed to actually, get a double overtaking, which got me into P2. And then from there, I was like, well, last race I was in P2 when I lost it, so let's not make it this race, because by then Charlie was already gone, and me, Ollie, Charlie, and Jack are all like the same pace as each other, so there's no chance we were really going to catch unless he had an off. So then my mind was set to defending Jack and Ollie.
Yeah, looked really close over the line as well, but it's good to see that even though you've been suffering with a bit of illness, it doesn't seem to have affected your driving, with obviously 2 podiums and a top 10 finish in the first race. So yeah, always great performances from yourself, and I've said on the stream, I'm sure you'll probably be straight in practice after this, although you probably should be resting.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really like to practice straight after a race, because I'm not gonna lie, I know Rich always seems to end up changing something on either the track or the car after a couple of days of testing, so I kind of just tend to wait until probably around the weekend, really. Or actually, no, maybe probably Thursday. But yeah, for my illness, I don't think it really... I think it's because I don't pay any attention to it when I'm driving. I'm just focused on the track, which is probably why it didn't affect me as much as it probably should have affected me.
Yeah, very much in the mindset, in the zone, and yeah, cracking job once again by yourself. So yeah, congratulations for P2.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you, and just again, thanks to everyone on the car, Clayton Moser, U-Fiber, Aegon by AOC, Marin, probably going to end up missing one now. So, I've done it all, I can't remember the rest now, so pretty sure that's everyone anyway. So thanks to all them, Falcon Computers, the charities, Ben Automotive, and the Ollie Foundation, as well as Glenn Davies for the hands device. And well, thanks to Rich for hosting the event, and thanks to, finally getting my first interview with you, so thanks for that. And as well as thanks to Rich for all the amazing commentaries that you two together, as well as the broadcaster, which is Steve. Yeah, I've got it correct, so thanks to all yous, and well done and Charlie for the win, and well done Jack and Ollie for P3 and P4.
Thank you to you and all the other drivers for all the exciting racing that you give us on a Tuesday night.
Absolutely, thank you.
Nice one, thanks Becky, thanks Thomas, well done. And on to our race winner, Charlie Devlin, who I think is now winner and chicken dinner, wasn't it? So we managed to get the phrase. I actually hate that phrase, to be perfectly honest, but it seemed appropriate as you were multitasking in race 1. Well done, Charlie, very well timed, and good pace and away. What point did you realise the race was in the bag?
When I crossed the line. Yeah, kind of when I got into the lead, I knew from practice I did a couple of laps offline that I knew I had the pace over the rest of the field if I was on my own. Obviously, it's Legends racing, you're never on your own. So yeah, I think that race was a bit of a one-off really. Obviously, got to the front, got a really good gap, and yeah, it's kind of plain sailing from there.
Not a bad evening. Obviously, I think Jack's responded a little bit from last week, but it's still a good battle to go, isn't there, with 2 events left?
Yeah, I'd probably say this evening's been my worst so far, considering that I've had the pace to win on pace, obviously, but you know, you've got to match the racecraft and the awareness with others, and race 2 obviously didn't quite go my way. I got hit off 3 or 4 times, which was quite unlucky, and then I also had a bit of contact with Rich, and then when I got back into the other voice call again, he said be prepared for quite a big penalty as he dropped to the back. So yeah, it's not really the words I wanted to hear, I'll be honest. I've looked back at the replay, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of 50-50. I think he could have done more to stay on the track. I think I could have done more to avoid him, but yeah, we'll have to see what he says on that one.
Yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, I made the point in the commentary that he does penalise himself quite a lot over the last few rounds. And it's one of those officiating, as you'll find out going into the real world, it's one of those difficult things that you can probably never really see eye to eye with the clerk on. We get it in football as well. Yeah, I never get why. I do get why footballers argue with the referee. It's passion about what they're doing, but there's no point because you're never going to win an argument, particularly in the real world against an official. You can put a case, but you know, argument doesn't do it. But anyway, besides that, you know, 2 really good podiums. And some great racing from you again, and you know, definitely a guy to watch over the next couple of rounds. And I'm actually looking at, I think we've got Jack's already on there, Caden and Catherine are already doing Anglesey, which I know you weren't keen on, but I think there's a flow to the coastal circuit. It's not that you haven't got that stop-start international loop. So are you looking forward to it? Maybe more than the GP loop that we went on last time.
I've done a different race series on that track before, and it was decent race, and I think it's going to be a bit maybe iffy with the cork screw bit and the weight transfer on this car, but
okay.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be good racing, obviously with the very good slipstream and stuff like that. It's still going to make for really good overtaking. So I think yeah, like every other evening, it's going to be absolutely manic and chaotic. So yeah, I think it's going to be good racing again.
I look forward to it. What sort of week you got in store, Jack? Charlie, sorry.
This week?
Yeah, what are you up to?
On Monday, I'm going to the Ginetta factory up in Leeds, which is 5.5 hours away. that's gonna be a long day out, but I'm excited for that. I won that off Ginetta series championship that I won, so yeah, looking forward to that. Next week as well. What am I thinking of? I've got Junior Saloon Car Championship E-Series as well. This as well next week. And then obviously college malarkey and stuff like that as well. So
I love the way your voice went down. You know, you were sort of all upbeat and then your voice dropped to a semitone as you went to our college.
Yeah, I still enjoy college over at Stansted Airport. That's really good fun with all my friends and stuff like that. So yeah. That's
good. Yeah, if the company's good, then that certainly helps, doesn't it? So, I remember, yeah, we were talking about engineering. Flight Lieutenant Matt Isherwood is the guy you need to talk to in Legends, in the RAF. I'm sure someone probably told you that after the broadcast that we had last time. But you know, I was saying that you're involved in aeronautical engineering and stuff like that. But yeah, Matt Isherwood is the guy that is worth having a chat with. Very quick pilot as well, like yourself, Charlie. So give my best wishes to everyone at Ginetta. Hopefully see them at some point. Over the next few weeks, but that should be a good visit, so I hope you enjoy the factory and look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Cheers, Charlie. Charlie Devlin, our race winner, double podium, like Thomas Potter, who took P2 in the final. Jack Smith, triple podium, and great stuff as well from Kian Haig, who was our driver around here. I want to say a massive thank you to Becky and Steve, as ever. Becky, because we got a couple of Scottish legends joining us for the last couple of rounds. Glenn Burtonshaw next week and Ben Mason at a finale. But Becky, thanks ever so much for working with us this year. It's been a real pleasure to do that. I'm looking forward to working with you a lot more in the future.
Yeah, thank you for having me for the few series I've done this year. It's been really enjoyable, really yeah, it made my Tuesday nights a lot more interesting than they were before. So yeah, hopefully be able to get a few more in maybe next year. So yeah, been great, and I'll be watching from the comfort of my sofa for the next couple of rounds to see how this championship plays out, because it is enthralling, this one. Really enjoyed this one as well. So yeah, it's been great. Thank you for having me, and for listening to me as well, everybody who listens to the broadcast. And yeah, thank you for letting me loose on the interviews as well.
That's great. You did a good job, man. There's definitely more to do work-wise with you in the new year. So have a great Christmas, and we'll catch up anyway before then. But also thanks to Steve Allen. Thanks everyone to taking part in our races. And if you've enjoyed the broadcast, don't forget to join us next time. As I said, we've got Glenn Burtonshaw, one of the major characters in the Scottish Championship, joining us for the Anglesey Coastal Circuit, which is a little bit tighter than one we had last week. Looking forward to that. Should be a good crack. Certainly be a good crack having Glenn along, and a chance for him to get his own back from any of the nasty things I've said online or on air about him over the years. So from all of us here at the Scottish Legends official VRRC Esports Championship. Thanks for watching. Be nice to each other, and we'll see you same time next week. Bye for now.
Happening between the two of them.
The insider coat,
Martin gets too heavily involved.
and that's Whitehead and Co.